Hello, this is Parkrun number 5 after my injury. If you haven't seen my last few videos, long story short, in November I had a very nasty fall. It was pretty gruesome. I've got links to pictures of the injury if you're interested and you're not too squeamish. They're in the description. And after a little over a month I was able to run for the first time, and now it's about a month after that, and I'm really getting back into it again. So last week my parkrun time here at Camperdown was 23:22, I think. My goal was just to get under 24, so I managed that definitely. Although the route would have been slightly short because there was a lot of ice on the path for the first few hundred meters, so we had to run on the grass, which meant it was a tighter turn. But the grass was still wet and muddy, and there was some patches of ice on it, so it might have worked out roughly the same anyway. Today I'm hoping for sub 23 if I can. Really anything faster than last week I'll be more than happy with, and honestly just getting around uninjured, that's fine. And sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath just now. I haven't long finished my warm-up, and I'm definitely warm now. I'm layered up like I have been for the last few weeks, but it's really not too cold today, so yeah, I didn't need 2 layers here. The last week or so has been a bit stormy, but I think Camperdown's mostly okay. I was here on Tuesday maybe, and there was a tree just after the wildlife centre that had come down. There was just enough space for it, well, just enough space to get past it, but it would have been a bit awkward, but you know, it would have been fine. The event probably could have still gone ahead, but the first section that I was filming today, I was on that section of path and it was completely gone. Well, almost completely. So you can just about see where it was. So the rest of the route was fine when I was here, so as long as it stayed that way, today shouldn't be any problem. And no more ice. I hate ice. As my knee's been gradually getting better, it's still not perfect, but it's definitely improving. I've been able to run a bit more. So last week I did, I think, 22.5k over 3 runs. This week I'll be at, I think, 20.5 before today's run, so I'll go up to about 25.5. So just gradual improvements, nothing huge week on week, just a little bit at a time, and hopefully I'll get back to where I was before my injury. On my second and third park runs after my injury, I made a point of memorising my splits from the week before, just so I knew, so I had a time to beat on each K to try and get faster. Last week I'd written them on my hand from the week before instead, but this week haven't written them on my hand, haven't memorised them, so yeah, I won't really have a great idea of how I'm doing. But I do remember from last week is the first K was 4:30, I think, and I remember reaching the roughly halfway point at 11:50. So I've got those in my head at least to give me a rough idea. Alright, let's get to the start and get going. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. .416 for the first K. These stones are new. $11.50 to the halfway point again. Let's try and pick it up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good stuff, folks. Well done. Almost there. Didn't quite manage the sub 23, but still faster, about 23:09 roughly. So that'll do. Still getting faster. And I think with a few more weeks of increasing my distance and not being worried about pushing myself a bit harder, my time should just keep going down. So yeah, no complaints. Good stuff, folks. Well done. This is a great spot for cheering people on because it's not too far from the finish that you can't push, but it's an uphill finish, so it's still rough. So having someone cheer you on really helps. And quite often people just take off when they get here. Good stuff, well done! I hung around to cheer some friends in and then tidy up a wee bit at the end. But I'm heading home now. I wasn't quite as fast as I'd hoped. Again, hoping for under 23 minutes. But still 23:09 is close enough. It's still faster than last week. And my leg's still fine. So I managed to take off, what, 14 seconds, something like that, from last week. So if I do that again next week, then that's sub 23. So yeah, no real complaints. I'm still just going to gradually keep winding up my overall running distance throughout the week. And I noticed, especially near the start, I was able to hit some pretty fast speeds, but I haven't really been able to do much, or had the confidence to run at that speed since I fell. So knowing that I can do that is quite reassuring. So I think I'll probably try and push myself a bit more on my, well, during the week only one of my runs is usually a fast one, and the other two are usually quite gentle. But on my fast one I might push myself a bit harder this week, just after doing this, knowing that I can get some pretty fast speeds. Coming up to the top of the hill around the halfway-ish point, I was 11:50 again, same as last week. I couldn't really remember any other times for other spots after that. When I got to the tree line at the end of the meadow, it was 20 and change, maybe 20:02 or something like that. So at that point I thought, I'm not going to get sub 23, because when I was, even my faster days before my injury, when I was managing to get around here under 20 minutes, I was usually about 250, 255 from there to the end. At least I've got that in my head. I was around there. I was thinking to get there in under 23 minutes, I'd have to be a pretty similar speed from that point on, which I didn't think I'd manage. But actually 23:09 is still faster than I was expecting from that point. So yeah, I'm getting there. It's all progress, and even if I'm not hitting my target time, it's still going to help with my fitness. So yeah, it's all it's all improvement. So that wind's picking up. It's pretty windy today still, but it's a fairly sheltered course. There's only a few spots where you really noticed it. So I don't think that was really an issue to my time. I'm going to keep on trying to just build things up gradually. So next week will probably be maybe 4 to 5k more running overall than this week. So I'm not pushing it too much. Don't want to end up injuring myself. Just, yeah, doing a little bit extra every time, and hopefully my times will keep on dropping. And even if it is only by 10 or so seconds a week, that's fine. That's no problem with me. I don't care if, I was thinking if I do get sub 23, I wasn't sure how much I'd get it by, and if it was by a decent amount, then maybe next week I'll be trying to get sub 22, and that can only go on for so long. So I knew that it wouldn't be sort of that successful anyway in terms of getting back to normal. But still, even if I'm getting a few seconds off each time, or just feeling better while I do it, that's fine. It's all progress, and I'm able to run, which is the big thing. I'm going to have the same target in mind for next week, just try and get sub 23 if I can. If I'm here at Camperdown, I think I'll manage it. I just need to knock 10 or so seconds off, which I think I should be able to do. And if I'm somewhere else, it's probably going to be somewhere flatter. So anywhere else, I mean, hell, even today's effort, 23:09 at Camperdown is sub 23 most other places. Not to say that it's the hardest place in the world, but it's just certainly not easy. And most parkruns I've been to are tougher than it. No, not as tough as it. So I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm hoping I can finally get back under 23.